Welcome back to Real Geek Media. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025. I'm Hayden Stoll. He is author Christopher Michael Blake. This week, we're going to talk about the film that made millions of people fear getting in the ocean. And it changed Hollywood. Maybe the first blockbuster. We're going to talk about Jaws tonight.
You sure it was? I thought it was Piranha Double D.
We're
Wasn't that
sticking with our animal, amphibian, whatever you want to call it, horror movies, coming off the birds, going
I
right
watched
into
the
the
wrong movie. I watched the one where David Hasselhoff got the big tits.
Well, I mean, did you watch the wrong movie?
That's possible.
So we got Jaws this week, but before we get into Jaws, Christopher, how you doing?
Hayden, it's been an amazing March so far. It's funny how many things just kind of came to fruition this month. Nominated for my first ever book award.
Yeah,
I know. I can't believe it.
Congratulations.
I had two short stories put into different anthologies.
Very nice.
And for right now, holding fingers crossed, Crimson Harvest is done again.
Ooh.
The gift that keeps on giving. I will say this. The people who have read the script seem to like it. I don't know if you saw the article put out by horrornews.net this week.
I did see it.
Janelle Spiegel was awesome. I really appreciate her. So if she's listening to this, thank you to her and horrornews.net for putting that article up. And, I really meant what I said with that. We kind of came up with some really very creative kills and maybe a few jokey moments in the script as well. And we'll see if they can pull it off. And I'm hoping they can.
Excellent. That's great news. That's a great update.
Yeah.
Great update. And for you baseball lovers, happy opening day. Go Yankees.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's talk a little bit about Jaws. And we're going to see if this is still considered scary by today's times or if it's lost a little bit of luster, lost its bite a little bit. Chris, if you want to talk about the plot of this a little.
Unlike last week where I had trouble figuring out what the inciting incident was with the birds, this one starts off in the first 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's clear cut. You have a problem. And the problem is you are swimming in this ocean off of Amity. You're liable to end up fish food and getting bitten in half. And that's in the first 3 minutes. You see this girl, she goes swimming. She's skinny dipping in the middle of the night. Her boyfriend or the guy she's kind of hooking up with kind of falls asleep on the beach and they find her body. And what happens? Because again, they just can't, we're going to call Quinn in at that point. The town and the mayor and even the medical examiner, they all kind of conspire and they'd be like, well, that could have been a boating accident. That's not jump the gun. We really have to keep this beach open because our livelihoods on this island depend on the revenue brought in by the beaches and the people vacationing here.
Yes.
And it kind of escalates from there.
Yes. A great opening scene. I'm trying to remember the year that I first saw this movie, and I was, I had to be like 7 or 8, maybe being the first time I actually remember seeing this thing. And, by standards from back then, early 80s, you're watching this and you're terrified to go in the ocean, right? Like it legitimately scared you. And like you said, right off the bat, you're fish food, right? It's just killing people, killing swimmers. And it gradually builds. When do we first see the shark in full?
It's not till the end of the movie, and it's one of the most brilliant things I can think of, is not showing the bad guy or the monster until the end.
I'm
glad you brought that up because I was going to bring it up myself. So yeah, that was.
I found that watching it again and just kind of being that we've been doing this together now.
Did your kids watch it?
No, no, they
Have
still haven't
they
seen it.
watched?
They have not seen it yet. They have not seen it yet. It will happen though. It will happen. But like when you get to that point, and you know what, I have to take note now because when they do watch it and just kind of just the way you're just kind of like looking and seeing, you see it swimming, you see it, and you're trying to look like, oh man, I just want to see this thing, and then you, boom, you get it at the end, and you probably have the same reaction that Brody does, you know, where you're just like with the cigarette hanging and yeah, yep, just like that, just like that. It's so well done. It's so well done.
It's funny because Jeff Daniels, who was in Speed, he had to figure out how to die in the movie. He had never died in any of his previous movies, and he was like, I see the timer going down, and I know this is my oh shit moment. And he goes back. We read an interview by the guy who played Brody.
Robert Scheider.
Roy Schneider.
Roy Scheider.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm brain fart. Thank you. By Roy Schneider. And Schneider says he literally just takes his jowls and sucks them in. And that's how he gets that look. And that's what he did for the movie Speed, is he kind of copied that same.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. Jeff Daniels is such an amazing actor. He is. Brilliant in almost everything he does, even if he doesn't even try. It's like Paul Giamatti. I think he's another guy who can be amazing in so many different roles. But that kind of just if you suck your jowls and your eyes automatically pop open. And I had never heard of that before, and I just think it's brilliant advice for an actor.
Tremendous. Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool that he went back to that.
But that's how he did that scene where he got the cigarette hanging from his mouth, like, because he just sucked his jowls in. Yeah.
And it conveys just the total shock and fear and like we are in over our heads. As the plot unfolds and Chief Brody is convinced that this is a shark and it's not the one that you guys caught, right? It's not that one. It's something more. And we start to get introduced. We've met the mayor, and you ran it down perfectly. Our livelihoods depend on the tourists. Okay, we're not shutting the beach. We're about making money. It's the holidays. We're going to make money. Beaches are going to be open. Chief Brody is trying to keep the people safe. He's the new chief. He's just come on board. And, think of the impression that as the townspeople are getting, if you put yourself in their shoes, it's like, is he crazy? What is he doing? Because we're being assured that the beaches are safe. It's an interesting, he's like just plucked out of a city. Was it a city cop?
New York City.
And
what's interesting is it almost appears, going back and rewatching this for the 50th time probably that I did, that when he's sitting at the table talking to Hooper about the things why he left the city, like there was something in the past in New York that kind of drove him out of it, where it was the crime. He couldn't take his kids to school without escorting them himself. It was very kind of like, hey, this New York is like Death Wish.
Yeah.
The Charles Bronson version, not the Charles version. Yeah.
And it's interesting because you're getting that characterization, right? And he conveys it well of a man who's has a purpose, but people are not believing him, and he's a fish out of water almost. And it's he does a very good job of conveying, like, just I know what it is. You guys don't believe me, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep people safe, and we meet Hooper, who was he a marine biologist? Is that what his job is? And Richard Dreyfuss is very good in this role as Hooper. And he's sort of like got the comic relief, and he has the little one-liners, and he tries to keep it light. But then, he gets serious. So when he gets serious, then he means business, right? Like, he's got the information. He knows what the shark is capable of. And, he gives that reality check to Hooper, or to Chief Brody. And Chief Brody is all in, right? Like, I'm listening to you. You're the man I need. You have the information. And I think about the scene with the billboard with the shark fin painted on it. and they're with the mayor, and Hooper's trying to, just tell him, listen, that is not too far off from what's going to be the reality. And, the mayor just, he doesn't want to buy in. And then we get to meet, oh my
Quinn.
God, Quinn.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Robert
We
Shaw,
get to meet Quinn, and he's the hunter, right? It's such a interesting dynamic because I look at that scene where they're hunting the shark. They're all on the boat together, and these are three vastly different personalities, and you start to see them bond a little bit. You start to see them banter, and it's giving some characterization. And Quinn has his big speech, right? Like I really, really thought these characters were well put together. They worked off of each other very well, to the point where you understood each person's role and what they're capable of doing. I thought it was just really good. Gets you to buy in, and you start to care about them, and you start to think like, this, I don't really care about Quinn. Then you really learn to like Quinn, and he becomes like your favorite towards the end of this film. What did you think about the casting of these three?
So for me, I don't know if you saw the title screen or not. Did you see it?
Ooh,
who was listed first in the credits? Do you remember?
Was it Robert Shaw?
No, it was all three of them together.
Oh, together. Interesting.
Shaw on top, Schneider to the left, Dreyfuss, who hadn't done anything to that point, to the right.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
But for me, it's not these three actors that really kind of, don't get me wrong, they all do a fabulous job, especially the Shaw with his USS Indianapolis speech.
Mm-hmm.
And the singing, and he's kind of annoying. He doesn't want to be bothered with these people. He feels he can do this himself. It's just the finer, minute, slower moments of the film that Spielberg captures. When Schneider is sitting there and the Kittner child has died, and he's got his hands like this, and he's drinking, and his son is photocopying him and all his movements.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, what a great scene. It doesn't have to be, there's no words spoken.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just back and forth with a father sharing a moment with his son, who's just recognizing that, hey, that dad's having a rough day, and not really kind of fully grasping what's going on. Or the scene where Lorraine Bracco's character is like, oh, they're out in the boat playing. And he's like, get them out of the boat. And she's like, I don't understand why you're so afraid. They're just at the boat on the dock. And then she just happens to flip open the book, and she's like, yeah, get the F out of the it's time to get out of the boat. It's so smaller. Hey, tie me a sheep shank. Well, I haven't had the basement,
Right, basic seamanship. Yeah, yep.
You mentioned the billboard scene. And if you remember, there's the reporter sitting there talking before that. Do you know who that reporter was?
Who's that?
Peter Benchley.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
He's the guy who wrote the book Jaws and wrote the screenplay for it as well. Have you ever read any books by Peter Benchley?
No.
He had a very weird one out a while ago, back in the 80s. It was originally called White Shark, then they renamed it Creature. The premise for the book is that during World War II, the Nazis were experimenting on people, soldiers, to make them super soldiers, and that in the submarine, one of them gets loose, and he now has gills, and he can now walk on land because he's part shark. And he ends up in the East Coast, going around basically ripping people in half because he's a Nazi shark. I'm not kidding. This is the premise for the book.
Interesting.
It's not the best, but it was turned into a TV film starring Greg T. Nelson. Yes, that was a
decent enough
movie.
Actor. Yeah. I like Greg T. Nelson.
Probably, cashed in after Poltergeist, I'm thinking, sure.
Yeah.
But again, so for me, it's the more finer, minute parts of the film. But obviously, it's the shark who's the main attraction here. Everybody wants to see the shark. And by the way, don't ever put Matt Hooper out in center field. The guy will drop anything you throw to him. He can't catch anything. He drops the shark tooth. he drops the. I mean, granted, if the shark was coming at me, am I gonna hold on to that pole with the corkscrew? Nah, probably not either. But we've seen his rep before. I'm not putting him out in left field during the playoffs. I can tell you that.
Nope.
Okay, so that's just my guess, though.
Yeah, I just to follow up on what you had mentioned, that those moments did you see that Spielberg was able to capture. Now he was 26 when he directed this, and that little moment you described with, the father and the son, and they're doing he's pantomiming his father's, motions. Those little moments like that have become like a hallmark that Spielberg has used in many of his films, where it's that small, quiet moment of just being human, being a father and a son, being a family. You look at that, you see that scene in here, and there's so many scenes throughout other, films in his filmography that have things like that. So you start to see things like that. Would you consider this, and I kind of do, that this is like the first summer blockbuster? 1975.
What year was 2001?
Let's see.
The reason I say that is I think that was 69, wasn't it?
That was 68.
And the reason I say that is at the time, that was like the big movie.
Well, let me say
this. The Academy Awards it won and everything else. I don't know if it came out in the summer or not.
It came out in April.
Okay, so not quite.
And Jaws was in June.
Yeah, but it makes sense to put that out during the beach season, right?
Absolutely.
But I would almost think that if I had to, again, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Was 2000 again? I didn't particularly like 2001. I think that the monoliths are pretty cool, but other than that, it's maybe kind of warning us about AI. But
sure, yeah.
I just, for me, it's just it doesn't compare to Jaws. Jaws is by far one of the best films. Spielberg's just an amazing director. Munich. We're reviewing that film later this year, aren't we?
Yes, we're doing Munich later this year.
It's just one of my favorites. Just when I saw it, I was blown away watching that movie. I was breathless watching Munich. And you have to remember, this is all pre-CGI too.
Yes.
So you don't have all the blue people flying around like Avatar and everything like that that kind of ruin these films for me.
It's interesting you bring that up. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's interesting that you say that. Like, if this movie was made today, it would be chock filled with like the Avatar treatment, and people wearing the suits with the thing, and the shark would not even be a puppet,
or an animatron. Yeah.
And an animatronic. It would just. I think it would take something away from this film, and as broken as the animatronic was, I feel like it made it scarier because we didn't see the shark until the end, and you're left to just be like, this is horrifying. Just ate that Kittner boy, like, and you don't even see it up close. That's just like Brody on the beach, just what he's seeing, and you're just like, whoa, what just happened?
One of the tricks that Spielberg does so well with this, and maybe even Peter Benchley with the script, I don't know. I didn't read the book Jaws either, so it could be in the book as well. And it works with bad guys all the time in script writing and in book writing. If you can have somebody talk about the bad guy and tell you all the reasons they're terrible, this is a perfect eating machine. Evolution has not touched this thing for millions of years. All it does is swim and eat and mass produce. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's its only function. It's cold, dead eyes. The story of the U.S. is before you see anything, we're hearing about the history of sharks. We're seeing pictures of things resembling the shark. And it leads you to, it's all this buildup so that when it does actually happen, it's like, wow, this thing's bigger and badder than they were. How many barrels, Chief? Oh, I put 2 in one time. Well, now we're up to 3 or 4. And now we got the tracking device. Now it's still attacking the ship. Oh, it went under. I mean, this one's either very smart or very dumb. We can't figure out. Next thing you know, he's sinking the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they were talking about this bad guy the whole way. And then when the payoff came, and obviously they did a great job. I almost came and tell that's a fake shark.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
It's so well done because it doesn't linger on it long enough for you to really scrutinize. It's just enough for you to be like, "Ooh, that's no good. Get out of there. Get out of there." You know. Yeah. And all of that build up and those moments where we think we got it licked, we think we got it, and now it's, like you said, another barrel. And now it's pulling the barrels underwater and it's staying underwater. And you're just like, as an audience member, you're like, how are they going to get out of this? Right? Like they're not walking away from this at this point. Like they're all going to be killed. So as an audience member, you're fully invested. Like, oh my God, these characters, like, how are they going to save the day? Like, what is going to happen here? And a dramatic ending of like the tank in the shark's mouth. And he takes the shot with the one-liner, smile for me.
Yes, smile, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
Yes.
Is there any doubt that Quint's character is Captain Ahab at that point? No, I'm serious. He's on with the Captain Ahab. He lost his leg, and now he's on for the great white whale. Here's the great white shark. All his friends had died. He's a shark hunter by profession. I mean, there's no doubt that influenced what he was doing as a seaman.
Mm-hmm.
And now here it is. This is like the test.
Yeah.
This is like the one. He wants to do it by himself. He didn't want anybody to go with him. He wants to do this by himself.
And he would not listen to any of them. Do
any of these guys actually know? I mean, Brody's running around almost chopping Hooper's legs off. I mean,
getting tangled in the ropes.
Hooper wants to climb in the cage.
Man goes into cage.
Yeah. Cage goes into water. Yeah, exactly.
Shark's in the water.
Cage? Yeah.
Or shark.
Oh my God. Maybe not the best of ideas. But I don't think that there's any mistaking that parallel when it was written, for sure.
Yeah.
That this was the Captain Ahab for the story.
Yeah. John Williams' score.
Yes.
Incredibly iconic, in a string of iconic scores that John Williams has done through his career. This is up there with like top 3, maybe even the best. Just that theme, the dun dun and the gradual build, and it's just throughout the movie. When you hear it, it's coming. You know what's going to happen. You do that out in public. Everybody knows what that is. They play that at baseball stadiums when there's 2 strikes on people. It's so well known and iconic. And this 1975. I don't know how old John Williams was when he composed this, but like, talk about a genius composer who, just one after the other, just memorable scores from films, from back then to, he scored the Star Wars. I think he scored the Indiana Jones.
He did that. Yep, both.
The recent one. Like he has a passion for characters and those types of films, and it comes out in the scores that he produces. This one is just tremendous, unforgettable.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you one bit. It's just he's amazing. I mean, but anything that him and Spielberg have collaborated on,
yes.
Can we fault any of it? I mean, I can nitpick on some CGI and Indiana Jones here and there, maybe some of the action scenes, but is he not an iconic character? Is he not? It's the same thing. It's just
and with Spielberg, like, just. Was this his second film?
I don't remember what the first one was.
It was the one with
the horror movie.
The truck.
Was that not Drive? It was.
What was that called? Oh, I forget.
Again, I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
It's okay. I wouldn't say it's iconic. I would almost say it's forgettable if he doesn't come out with this one afterwards.
Right. Duel.
Duel, yes.
So he did Duel.
Road Rage on
Firelight,
yeah.
Duel, the Sugarland Express. Then he did Jaws, and then it was just
E.T.
classic after classic. Take out 1941, but classic after classic. And you could tell, you could see it, right? Like you could see he had these things and these moments, and he was able to tell a story and build a story. And it shows in Jaws. You care about these characters, these very diverse characters, very different personalities. You care about each one of them. And, he weaves this magic in so many of his films that he can tell a story very well. And like, if you just go through the list, like we had just said, E.T., Close Encounters, Raiders,
I forgot about Close Encounters.
Yeah. I mean, even his, like some of the more serious ones, like Color Purple, Empire of the Sun.
Have not seen Empire of the Sun. I still.
Oh, really?
I know Christian Bale's in there as a youngster. I know that.
Yeah, and you could almost say like Jaws in a way. Like you could see, like you get Jurassic Park, right, where it's the dinosaurs and this was the shark, and there's like some similar themes in there with the horror and the adventure, and that's like, would you consider this movie horror, adventure, thriller, or it kind of ties all of them? I think horror is kind of what people think, but it's an adventure. You're on this ocean, you're hunting a shark, it's a thriller of when's it going to attack? It's just a surprise, we're not even going to see it. I mean, it just in and out of different genres, and it just ties together so well.
I don't disagree with you. I think this is horror. Anytime you're killing little kids, you got naked girls running around, even though it was all kind of shadowed out, because they wanted to keep that PG rating at the time. Which again, there's no way this is PG today. I mean, this is probably rated R.
Yeah,
you would think. I mean,
easily.
But again, back then it was PG. Everything was PG. It was there was no PG-13 at the time.
No.
So it was either R or PG or X or G.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. I mean, but no, I don't disagree with you. And the other thing I wanted to say was talk about the CGI for the film, because again, there was none. Think about like Deep Blue Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Jane, LL Cool J, the girl whose name I can't ever recall, Samuel L. Jackson, and the shark.
I love that movie too.
It's not bad. It's not terrible. I walked out of the theater seeing that because again, it was a summer blockbuster film.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty good. I really liked that.
Yeah.
But let's face it, the shark was not even close to realistic looking.
No.
And what really got you over was the characters. The sense that, hey, we're trapped down here. We got to kind of climb up, and the shark eat the parrot, and okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Samuel L's giving this tremendous dialogue. All right, let's get out of here, and the shark just jumps out. And
that scene, I still remember. I was like, whoa, that was a good scene. Because nobody was expecting that to happen.
But again, I was like, that's kind of not very realistic. I mean, you look at Quint getting eaten up by the shark, and it starts with his legs, and it's working its way up his body.
Horrifying.
Compared to Deep Blue Sea, where it's just the shark just comes up and snatches them. And I'm like, okay, those are smart robot, sharks.
Yes, they're the anti-Alzheimer sharks.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't. Can we not give history's greatest killer, an edge intellectually wise, I don't know.
Maybe not a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
So, Hayden, give me your final verdict on Jaws here.
Well,
better than the Birds last week, or not? Or you still got something more you want to cover?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, looking at it in today's lens, and I think why it still works for me is it has some real world, like, fear-based things, tension, everybody's experienced this. Everybody's experienced tension, right? Building things, real world fears. People are scared of the ocean. People are scared of sharks, right? That will still hit with somebody today that it did back in 1975, all through the 80s when, we were kids watching it. That's why I think this movie still does work. I feel like it's perfectly paced, right? It when it slows down, you're still listening and looking and trying to learn like what is happening, right? It's not a movie that is like, just this is the first one that skips through my head. Is this the second Matrix movie where I will skip to the chateau fight and the three-way chase, and that's all I need to watch, right? This movie's not that, right? This movie is I need to watch. I'm invested. I'm not looking away, right? Even when it slows down and even when it slowly builds back up, where you're just like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? I still think it works today. And to give you my final rating, masterpiece. This is a 5 out of 5. It's a masterpiece. It will stand the test of time. It's brilliant film.
So I got 2 comments. I don't disagree with anything you said. I think this is one of the movies that I probably watch maybe once every year, maybe once every 2 years. If it's on
4th of July or weekend. 4th of July weekend.
I'm watching it. Usually if it's on TV, I'm watching it. I'll just stop what I'm doing. I'll put it on. The second, Hayden, is we really need to come up with our Seagull script from weeks ago. I don't say that lightly. I think that we have a winner there. No one else is doing this kind of stuff right now.
That's true.
And I'm just saying we need to go to Starbucks or to Barnes & Nobles and sit there and hash this thing out and write this thing.
Not wrong.
As bad as it's going to be, the worse it is. Look, it's Toxic Avenger steroid seagulls.
There you go.
I mean, what's wrong with
that?
What's
not to like? What's
on
not
the Jersey
like?
Shore? On the Jersey Shore.
On the Jersey Shore, no less.
If we can get Snooki being eaten,
oh
please,
we're perfect.
We're gold. Oh, please, yes. So I'm just finishing with that. So that's my advice to you, Hayden. Is call me. All right. Don't be afraid.
Fair enough. You got a favorite shark movie?
And that was it, basically. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, look,
it's it for me too. This and then Deep Blue Sea, and that's really. I
mean, have you ever seen Sharknado?
I have, and it is what it is.
I will not invest one moment in that movie.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's time that I'm not getting back in my life.
Yeah,
and I'll leave it at that. And again, it was when Tara Reid was still kind of hot.
How about the Meg, where Jason Statham could karate kick a megalodon?
For me, it's not so much the Meg; it's the sequel to the Meg that bothers me. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and we were talking about the Working Man before we came on tonight, and I just, I mean, again, he just cashed it in. And I know the Chinese made that movie, and they bankrolled it because they're trying to build their film studios up over there. But man, was that terrible! It was just, they got a hit, and they said, "All right, let's pay them." I hope we got paid a lot.
There you go, Christopher. What do we have on deck?
Hayden, is your business looking for an affordable way to gain and attract new clients?
Yes.
Hire the Shark Hunters here at Real Geek Media Entertainment for your podcast and website needs. You want to advertise? This is the place to do it. Now, Quint was asking for what, $15,000 in the movie?
Something like that.
New rates here tonight on RealGeekMedia.com.
Oh, write it down.
$14,999.
It's a steal.
And we will send Hayden to your house for the weekend. Look, however he comes back is however he comes back. Just cash on delivery for me. Please COD, please. All right.
Oh man.
No, Hayden, it's $30. And again, you're getting 2 episodes back to back, because as soon as we finish this one, we do the Let's Get Weird episode where we talk about the current news and tell funny stories and tell more jokes. And then you're getting our website on top of that. Hayden, tell us where we broadcast at. Where can you see Real Geek Media?
We're on Paranormal 24/7. We're here on X. We're here on YouTube. We're here on Twitch. We're on RSS. We are everywhere.
I don't disagree with that assessment. It's like every time you look under the bed, there's the bald guy and the furry guy sitting under there looking back at you, asking for the handout. That's really what it is, right? I mean,
Yeah,
look,
there you go.
it's a handout, right?
Fair
I
enough.
mean, look, it's like,
Fair
hey,
enough.
you like our content? Hit the donate here button.
There you go.
You know,
There
if
you
you
go.
really like me, you buy a book.
Listen,
You know about
if you-
trespass against us? I know, I can't help myself. I'm show me the money. If there was Cuba Gooding was here, I'd be like, show me the money.
Oh yeah, we got to
You know.
get Cuba in there.
Oh, man. Go ahead, Hayden. You were saying?
No, what do we have on deck for next for 2 weeks from now?
We have the people from Freehold Ghost Tours coming on. And we're going to probably do another true crime episode as well. So I can't wait for all this. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be talking about ghosts. We're going to be talking about paranormal activity. We're going to be talking about spiritual. We're going to be talking about haunted locations here in New Jersey in your backyard.
It's gonna be great.
So hopefully it's not like
I'm looking forward
Poltergeist where you're sleeping on a ancient Indian reservation.
Yeah, try to avoid that. Try to
And then
avoid
you
that.
rip your face off. That's an RPG movie, by the way, Hayden.
Yes, it is.
You know.
You could thank Temple of Doom for changing it all for everyone.
Hayden, visit realgeekmedia.com. Click on the links for sponsor us, advertise here with us, or donate here. It sounds like Harrison Ford and Steven Spielberg owe us a lot of money for what we're advertising for them on a
I
weekly
agree.
basis over here.
I agree. Bill them. Let's bill them.
Hayden, I got good news and I got bad news for you.
All right.
I got the box office results are in.
They're in.
They're in.
It's a new champ.
Hold on. Don't get ahead of yourself. Are you ready here?
Let's go.
Novocaine, the Jack Quaid movie, which actually got good reviews, I saw.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You guessed 11 million. I guessed 9.5. The actual retail number, 8.7.
Ooh.
Yes, I edged you out there. Here we go. Black Bag.
This one did better than I thought it was, I think.
You said 6. I said 7.5. Actual retail number, 7.6.
Ah. All right.
Oh, look at that. I'm 2 for 2. Hold on. Wait.
There
It
you
gets
go.
better. Snow White.
Oh, God.
You said 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
I said 45.
Was it 46?
The actual retail number, 43. Hayden, you inched it out because I went over.
Oh, man.
I wasn't closer. I was a little bit closer. But you get it because you did not go over the actual retail number. So I gotta give that one to you.
That was a close week. We were very close.
You got one more film.
Okay, yeah.
You're not done yet, Hayden.
Yep.
I dropped the elbow when you're still kicking out.
Kick out on one.
The alto. No, I didn't say that.
Oh,
I got you dazed and
that's so
confused over
nice.
here.
Yeah.
I might have Stacy Keebler run in. Those legs, I can't believe it. All right. The Alto Nice, the Robert De Niro movie to decide it all. Hayden, you said 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
I said 7. The actual retail number, 3.165. Hayden, you keep the title for another week. I told my wife I was pissed at you. I said 3 weeks. I said, you don't understand, because my daughter was like, what are you doing, Daddy? And I said, I got to dethrone this guy. I have a championship belt sitting in my room. And this joker just keeps kicking out. He keeps getting disqualified. He's running out for the count out. I got to try to get this guy out. No holds barred next week, hey. We're going to get 5 movies this time.
Oh, there we go.
We're going 5 movies.
Wow.
I got
5.
him here.
Let's go.
And we're going to start with the one we're kind of talking about. The Jason Statham Working Man movie. Which is the same role he plays in every movie. Only this time, instead of being a gardener with bees or a bank delivery guard, he's a construction worker.
Yes. You know, the interesting thing about this movie, this is David Ayer's second consecutive film with Jason Statham. And the first one they did together was The Beekeeper. So I'm expecting a fun movie because I enjoyed Beekeeper.
I did too.
Oh man,
You know what the
I'm
budget on
trying.
this thing was?
I don't. Do
You want to give me your number, or do you want me to go first?
Um,
You can defer. It's okay.
yeah, you could go first. That's fine.
I really think things are tough out there for people right now.
Yeah.
On social media, I can't tell you how many people are telling me they're having a tough financial time. Like everybody else, I have lots of debt. I have to put a billboard on my back soon. Simp here. So what I'm thinking is 11.5.
11.5.
11.5.
11.5. That is, I think, pretty solid. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 13.
You went Hulk Hogan on that one. I saw you, and you started coming back up, and you were shaking.
I think there's a real thing like the Jason Statham effect, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's the same team that did Beekeeper. It's the same director. It's the same lead actor. It worked that time. I don't see why it wouldn't work this time. People like to see Jason Statham beat people up.
Yes,
it's a tried and true formula. The beat 'em up action movie, and he's maybe one of the last bankable big action stars. Like there really aren't that many anymore. I'll go 13. I think that's a safe guess. I wouldn't be surprised if it did more than
that. Again, I think that just from what I'm seeing on social media, they just had the worst weekend movie for the year with Novocaine when that week that came out.
Yeah.
Again, it's a slow time in the movies season right now. That's just my guess. I mean, that's what I'm going with. The next one's almost guaranteed to be a blockbuster, though. And it's a movie I have no desire to see. And every time I see the trailer, I go, "Really? This is what you want to see?" I look at my daughter. I'm like,
okay.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Minecraft.
Oh man.
Starring Jack Black and the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Give me the number, Hayden.
This thing. It looks like it would bomb. However,
you get a big following from these kids,
it's a
man.
Huge following. All right, let's go. What did Snow White do? 46?
43.
This will appeal to young boys, whereas Snow White wouldn't. So
and girls. I think it'll appeal to girls too.
Oh yeah, girls too. But where boys are not going to want to go see Snow White. Boys and girls will both go see. Oh yeah, I'll go see Minecraft. So I'm going to go higher than Snow White. I'm going to go 53.
Okay.
It's probably a case of big opening weekend and then just crash and burn. But I don't know.
It depends. If it gets good word of mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the next kid movie that's kind of coming out?
That's a good question.
I mean, maybe till the summertime. I could see this being in the theaters for 2 months. One of those films that just kind of lingers.
Hangs around.
I don't think you're wrong with that 53 million. As much as it pains me, and my kidneys hurt just thinking about it. And I'm like, oh, can I go to sleep for 2 hours instead of watching this? I really just have no desire. And yet I'm going to be there. I know it. Maybe not opening weekend, but soon after.
Yeah.
Hayden, I gotta go 55.
Okay.
And I hate to do that to you.
I think we're
beating at that point.
I think we're right in the ballpark with it. I think we really are.
This next one's tough, Hayden. They've been playing this for a while now in trailers across the movie theaters. It's got A-list cast.
Mm-hmm.
It is Death of a Unicorn. The Paul Rudd, Wednesday Addams movie.
Jenna Ortega.
Yep. This one's going to be big. good cast in this movie too. It's not a bunch of scrubs running around after those two either.
What is this rated? What is it rated?
It's got to be R, right? I mean, anytime you're talking about killing children's pets to get their magical lifelong property, that's what the basic premise of the movie is.
I just gotta see. I just want to say, Death of a Unicorn. Rated R. Okay. All right. Officially rated R.
I'm gonna give you my number.
Okay.
This one's also going to hurt too because I had no desire to see this movie either. Because it looks like somebody just went out to the Hollywood studios and said Unicorn and Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. Put them in a movie, quick.
Yes, do it. Do it now.
Is there any way this is possibly any good?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I'm going to say 18. And I think it's that again, you got a big cast for this thing. Unicorns kind of appeal to females, or you can get some guys in there because of the action sequences. Paul Rudd's comedic relief.
18. Okay.
Again, not gonna get the kids in there because it's R-rated, so you got to kind of dial it back a bit for that.
What did Black Bag do last week?
What was it? Black Bag? 7.6. Now you got to think that this has been heavily promoted as where Black Bag was not.
And Novocaine was like 8, which is
8.7. Again, it was one of the worst weeks. But again, Novocaine wasn't even promoted that heavily.
I'm just trying to kind of get a feel for like the R-rated audience. You said 18?
I said 18. Could be high.
I'm going 12.
12. All right.
I honestly can't remember seeing a trailer for this.
They've been playing it. I going to the movies recently. I can't remember what I saw Monkey. Good kill scenes. Not a very good movie. They did play the trailer for it, and I know I've seen it on billboards. I know I've seen it on the internet. So this one's a little odd here, Hayden. It's coming out this week, I believe. Horror movie. Different type of audience. Definitely geared towards black audience for sure. Looks good. The Woman in the Yard. And they've been playing the trailer for this everywhere too.
Woman in the Yard. I have to look. I don't know if I even heard of this one. Woman in the Yard. Woman in the Yard.
I know if it wasn't for the Yankees, you'd been paying attention to all this.
I honestly, I can't even find it. There it is. Okay. Woman in the Yard. What is this? Okay. Triple one stars.
Read it out loud, man. Give us the breakdown.
Okay, here we go. Right.
Give us the premise.
Danielle Deadwyler stars as Ramona, a woman crippled by grief after she survives a car accident that takes her husband, Russell Hornsby. Seriously injured, Ramona now must care for their 14-year-old son, Peyton Jackson, and 6-year-old daughter, Estella Cahia, alone in her rural farmhouse. The one day a woman takes form in their yard. Ramona assumes the woman is lost or demented, but as the woman creeps nearer and nearer to the house, it becomes clear she is no ordinary figure and her intentions are anything but peaceful. Now Ramona must rally to protect herself and her children from the grasp of a woman who simply won't leave them alone. That was on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes. That's where I got that from.
Any early reviews on there?
There are. Yes. There are. 11 critic reviews, 4 audience reviews.
What's the numbers?
I mean, it's 36% on the tomato meter, if that means anything to you.
All right, that tells me a lot. That tells me a lot. Give me the number, Hayden.
Uh, 5.
I don't think you're off with that number. However, I think that people are looking for a horror movie right now to watch. Monkey didn't draw it in really. Actually, Monkey got like the biggest horror opening of the year, I thought.
That's interesting.
Now, is this a little bit scarier? Is this more like the Brandy movie that was out earlier this year?
That's what I immediately thought of when I was
Or like the
reading
Holly
that.
Berry movie from last year?
Yes.
I'm gonna go 7.5. So I'm gonna say a little bit over, only because I think there's a bigger audience. I think this is a wider release. You get your horror fans out there, and I think this will appeal to a lot of people. Hayden, this is the money shot.
All right.
The movie that's going to determine it all. One's going to take you downtown.
What you got?
Produced by the people who did Terrifier 2 and 3.
Okay.
David Howard Thornton's next film.
Okay.
Waiting 90 years for this adaptation. You know what it is now.
Is this the Popeye one?
Screamboat.
Yes.
It's not Popeye. It's the killer rodent on the Staten Island ferry.
Oh, yeah.
That's not named Andrew Cuomo.
Right. Steamboat Willie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a steamboat. It's not Willie. Steamboat Willie I thought it was a screamboat.
It's called Screamboat.
Yeah.
But it's based on Steamboat Willie.
So I'm going to give you the number.
Okay.
I get the feeling this is going to be dialed back in terms of release.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be a movie they play at the Marquee, but it will be at the AMC.
It'll definitely be at AMC.
Oh, yeah. Believe me, I'm already scouting for tickets, but it's not going to be a brick. It'll be a freehold.
Yes.
I'm already looking. I'm getting there. By hook or by crook, I'll be there. That's going to hurt its numbers. However, I can tell you now, I was at Monster Mania 2 weeks ago, and they had the kids who were in Terrifier 2 and 3.
Oh, wow.
The kids. And the lines to see just them were out the door. And I have to believe if they make even a little bit of money on this movie, franchise, kind of like the Pooh universe.
Is this not part of it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe that it is. I could be wrong on that, but I don't believe that it is. I mean, Mickey Mouse wasn't in Pooh, right?
Oh, that's true, right? That would be
so.
Yes.
David Howard Thornton, I don't believe he's making bank yet. That's just my honest opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He has an iconic role as the Terrifier. However, are enough Terrifier fans want to go see him in this? I think the answer is somewhat yes.
I would definitely agree with you.
The number I'm going to give you is 4.5. Again, the reason I say that is because they're dialing back the theaters for sure. This looks like it's to say low budget would be generous. D+ movie, quality, but I can tell you just looking at the trailer, there is blood all over this trailer. And that appeals to a certain faction of people who are sick individuals like myself. 4.5 is the number I'm going with opening weekend on a limited release. I think this is going to be a hell of a surprise. I bet this wasn't made for more than $2 or $3 million as a guess. And that once they make that money back and get into that $10, $12 million range, they're already eyeing up the sequel. Get Thornton back in that chair and put the rat outfit back on him.
It's interesting because when these movies come up, like the Pooh Universe ones, we say the same thing. You just said it. They're made for a couple $100,000 and they make 10 million and it's a huge success. And you don't need a ton of people to go see it. You just need enough to make your budget back and then 10x your budget, right? Like 10 million on $100,000 budget. You know what I mean? Like these movies are sneaky, just gold mines. And I like 4.5. I'm trying to remember, like, what did Pooh because that did
Pooh
like
1 or Pooh 2?
Pooh 2. Yeah, see, that's where you
On
say
$1 million.
4.5, and you might not be far off, because if that's kind of it's scaling up, because the first one was only like $1 million,
Yes.
right?
That's
The
what they
second
made.
one was
They
5
made
million,
yeah.
and now you're getting, Pooh universe adjacent, like the Disney side of it. Like, oh man, I'm gonna go. I'll give you a little space. I'll go 3.5 just to give you
I thought you would have gone over.
No, I think it's going to go under, but
Okay.
I think it's still going to do well on a limited release.
Can I just tell a quick joke real quick?
Go for it.
I wouldn't be shocked if that was filmed on the boat that Pete Davidson brought. The ferry that he bought, he can't use. He's like, oh, this thing's falling apart. I bet you they filmed that there.
There you go.
Just a guess.
There you go.
All right. Hayden, let's get geared up.
Yeah. I that's a good list. That's a good. I don't know, man. We're still pretty close. We're still pretty close.
Look, I got you running. I'm going to go to the top of the hill of cell and drop you off the announcing table. That's it.
Mankind through the table.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you guys for joining us and listening to our thoughts on Jaws and the box office battle that continues. We will be back with we're doing what are we doing this week? We're doing Let's Get Weird this week. We'll be back with that. And we will see you in 2 weeks to talk with some ghost tours and some true crime. So stick around. We'll be right back. Thank you.